Hi there, I'm Anna Visak, and I'm here talking with Shannon Dufour-Martinez, who's going to tell us a little bit more about her work. So, Shannon, I'll start by, can you tell us your job title and where you work?
Hi, yes, I'm an intensive community support worker at Howard Center. I'm also a respite provider, and both of those jobs are working with people with developmental disabilities.
Awesome. And could you tell us a little bit more about what your job entails?
Yeah, so when I'm working for Howard Center, I am supporting, I've supported a variety of different people with different needs, but currently I work for a woman who has an intellectual disability. I support her and her kids at their home and in the community, helping them work towards goals, helping them be safe, helping them manage budgets and meet family needs. I also work with a man who just his goals are to just get out into the community. So we spend some time hiking and just kind of seeing what the community has to offer, providing emotional support, helping him process and plan his days. As a respite provider, that's more about getting people a break from their normal routine. So that might be similar kind of job, just similar activities some days, but it's more about just being a companion and a friend and helping someone, again, reach their goals.
That's great. Can you tell us a little bit more about your educational and career background and sort of how you came into this work?
Yeah, I studied sociology at UVM. I have a bachelor's degree in sociology. I had no idea what I was going to do with that degree. When I graduated, I worked at a daycare. I was a preschool teacher. I was a research and administrative assistant. I painted houses. I landscaped. I ended up doing some handy person work. And that led me to meeting some people who are looking for both handiwork, landscaping, and help inside their homes. And eventually that kind of just translated into more support work for people who just have a variety of needs. I started working with a young woman when she was 11. She's 21 now. We still work together. But yeah, it just kind of snowballed through a variety of different jobs. I tried case management. I didn't love it. I really like being more direct with people, and stepped back down to this.
That's awesome. What are some of your favorite things about your job?
So there are kind of like two different areas for that for me. I love let's see. About this work in general, I really like that there's flexibility. There's a lot of job security. People are always going to need support. I've had the opportunity to work with people from the very beginning of life to the very end of life. I did hospice work, end of life care. I worked with newborns and parents caring for newborns. So kind of getting to know people better, which ties into studying sociology, the study of society. And getting to understand others' perspectives. It's very social work, and I'm a very social person. So getting really involved with other people and helping them reach goals. I also just love, again, back to there being job security, there's a lot of need for this kind of support. And if one person and I decide we're not jiving, we decide to go our separate ways, there are so many other people looking for this kind of support. I've worked in people's homes where it was a lot of cleaning and cooking, and then felt like maybe I needed something different. And there was someone ready with a young person who wanted to just get out and explore the community. So easy to kind of find the right fit for that right time in my life. The variety of work there's just a lot of joy in helping people meet their goals.
That's great. What are some of the things you find the most challenging about this work?
Same thing, people. People are challenging. Getting comfortable with seeing other people's perspectives is hard. Approaching situations and people without judgment can be hard. It's also really rewarding. There's a lot of room for personal growth doing this work. kind of training myself to be non-judgmental, to be compassionate, to lead with compassion in everything we do. It's challenging, but also essential to be reliable. So there are times when you don't want to get out of bed in the morning, but you know that someone's really depending on you, and that's motivating. It can be challenging to advocate for yourself when you work for a large agency, but that's also really empowering. And again, I've seen for myself, I've learned a lot through advocating for myself and trying to find jobs that were the right fit for me.
That's great. Could you walk us through what a typical workday looks like for you?
Sure. So let's see, on a day when I'm working for Howard Center, I usually support one person in the morning for about 4 hours. I usually start the day by checking email, maybe checking in with my supervisor if there's something big going on for the person I'm supporting. I make sure my car is ready, make sure my backpack is ready. Those are essential tools for my job. I drive people around. My car has to be fairly clean. I have to have gas in it. It has to be ready to go. And I don't have an office, so my backpack and my car are my moving office. So those are just like key. You develop a really strong relationship with your car and your backpack, and when you do community work. So supporting her in her home, it might be checking in with her in the mornings, making a plan for the day, helping her get her kids ready for school, maybe helping with breakfast, making a budget plan or a meal plan for the day. Usually some housework, some cleaning. Some of that's not so exciting, and some of that's really rewarding. You know, when you help someone who hasn't seen the back of their closet in 2 months dig down and really make some progress on it towards a goal, it can be really exciting some days. Maybe we go to a meeting, a school meeting, a doctor's appointment. There's usually time for just kind of some socializing, which can be really rewarding for the person you're supporting. So a lot of people with disabilities don't have a big group of friends or a big group of supportive family. So that can be really fun, rewarding, and also just kind of meets my needs as a social person. And I get a short lunch break. I check in with my supervisor, check my email again, and then I'm off to meet another person, usually in the afternoon. Right now, that person, we go for a hike, we plan out some things for his week, do a little kind of thinking about his goals and seeing if there's any way we can work towards those goals. Help him get home, check in with my supervisor, check my email, and I'm done. It's one of the things I love about this job compared to some of the other ones is I'm not on call after work. I leave work at home. You know, I care about the people I work with, so I take a lot of those thoughts and feelings home with me, but I don't have to do work when I get home, which is great.
Great. What do you think would make someone a good fit for this kind of work?
Compassion. And a willingness to learn, a desire to see other people's perspectives. Sometimes it can be really hard to set my own feelings about a topic aside and just think about where someone else is at. But no one's perfect. We all make mistakes. I make mistakes regularly. My client and the person I support and we work through those mistakes. She trains me, I help her learn, we figure it out from there. But just that willingness to learn, willingness to talk, communication skills. But really, I'd say compassion or desire to be compassionate is really essential.
Great. If a middle or high school student might be interested in this kind of work, is there anything you'd recommend that they do right now to explore it, like volunteer work or classes or projects at home or part-time jobs or anything like that?
Yeah. I volunteered a lot as a kid and as a young adult and in college. I'd say a big thing was volunteering with food security and housing security. So volunteering with food shelves, kind of prepared meal organizations. We get to meet a lot of people, kind of understand where people are coming from, build that compassion and those listening skills. And let's see, I started off with babysitting. I took CPR and first aid and life guiding training when I was 15. And those all kind of helped me be less afraid of the human body and kind of less afraid of minor medical emergencies. So that training was pretty important. You can also do free PCA trainings. I think starting at like, maybe you might be able to start the trainings pretty young, 16 maybe. PCA is personal care assistant. And there are a bunch of different places around the state that do PCA trainings. And that just kind of gives you an overview on what it's like to support someone, work in their home, work with them in the community. And it's also a great babysitting trainings, any of those kinds of things where you're working directly with people. Also just helping out at home and figuring out the kinds of things you like to do and the kinds of things that you're passionate about. Personally, I like handiwork. I like deep cleaning, but not, washing dishes. So working for a family in their home, I might be hanging shelves. I might be bringing my tools with me. I might be cleaning out, a drain in the backyard, stuff that I would do at my own house. And the reason I'm good at that and feel confident doing that is because I do it at home.
That's great. So you just spoke a little bit already about this and trainings, but is there any other kind of education or training that you think a student might be thinking about down the road if they want to do this kind of work?
Well, sociology was a great thing to study for this. Social work also, let's see, but really you can do this kind of work with, I'd say, most backgrounds if you come with the compassion and the willingness to learn. One of the great things, so the job can be, I'm on my own a lot, making a lot of my own decisions. I don't see my coworkers a lot, but the agency I work for offers a lot of training. There's a lot of broad training. And then if you have an interest in working with someone who's had trauma, who's had really tough experiences, or someone who has a specific disability like autism or ADHD, you can get those more specific trainings once you're in the job. So coming with the willingness, kind of some life experience, just about listening to people and seeing others' perspectives is a great place to start. But I've had coworkers who were engineers, I've had coworkers who are artists, coworkers who didn't go to college, who like me did manual work after school, house painting and landscaping, things like that, and just found this as one of their career choices.
That's great. Anything else you want to share or say about your work?
Let's see. There are a couple things I didn't say that I wanted to say. I love this. Part of what I love about this is that when I wanted to be working 50 hours a week, when I didn't have a family, I didn't own a house, I could. It was easy. There were lots of people who wanted the support and were eager to work with someone who's enthusiastic about the work. And now when I want to be working 30 hours a week because I have a family and a house and other things that are important to me, I'm on the board of a food shelf and try to be pretty active in my community. I can work less, and it doesn't, the work is out there. You can make the schedule what you need it to be if you put in the effort to do that. And I got some very wise wisdom from a friend many years ago, someone I worked for, who told me that you can have as many careers in your lifetime as you want. It doesn't have to be one. And he suggested 3. I really believe in that. I don't think you need to pin yourself down for one thing. So for me, when I look at education and training, I think about personal development. And kind of pursuing my passions, and I'll find work in those fields if I keep developing myself.
That's great. Well, thank you so much.
You are welcome. This is a pleasure.